Hi, my name is Ramage. I'm a realtor with the Ramage Group. I'm helping some buyers with their possession date today, and that is sometimes called the completion date or the closing date on an offer to purchase contract. I felt a good occasion to share with you some ideas about what you can expect on a possession date and give some insights or ideas if you're writing an offer to purchase. On an offer to purchase contract, it says that the possession will happen at about noon on the agreed to date. Now, the buyer has gone in a few days beforehand and signed some paperwork with the lawyers and left them a check. On the morning of possession, the buyer's lawyer will courier the check to the seller's lawyer. And that's really what we wait for until noon, is for the seller's lawyer to receive the check and effectively receive the money and then trade title to the buyer. So we wait for the call from the seller's lawyer that says that the keys are releasable. And this process just happens to usually take till about noon on the agreed to date. Now, prior to that noon time, it is not uncommon for the buyer and the buyer's agents to do what's called a walkthrough. Now, a walkthrough is nothing that is written into a purchase contract. At least it's not pre-written on a purchase contract. So when I write an offer to purchase with a buyer, I'll often suggest that we write in a term on the contract that says something like this: that the seller will permit the buyer and the buyer's agent to do a walkthrough and have access to a property within 24 hours of the agreed to possession date. And that just assures that the buyer will have the opportunity to go in and make sure that everything is in good, orderly condition for the closing, and that they can feel comfortable proceeding with the purchase. We were witness recently to a great example why a walkthrough is really important to do. And on this occasion, a buyer accessed a property that was not available to be viewed prior to that noon time. And upon accessing that home, it was discovered that in this vacant property, which hadn't been checked by anyone on the seller's side within a month, at some point had a water pipe burst, and the water flooded the main floor and also then caused ceiling on the lower level to fall in, and there was a tremendous amount of damage. Now, after the money's traded hands, sorting out a situation like that is a little bit problematic, of course, as you can imagine. If you're given the chance to view that home prior to that noon time, it also just assures that that damage hasn't happened after the fact of possession having occurred, and there's really no debate about it. So if at all possible, always remember to write in that the buyer will be permitted to have access to the property for the purpose of a walkthrough prior to possession. Other than that, I often just simply call the walkthrough a sneak peek opportunity, and meaning we'll take a look. The buyer's, of course, generally very excited to move into the home, and 99.9% of the time there really isn't a problem. And of course, it's the chance for ourselves as agents to meet the buyer at that home, and when we get the call from the lawyer that says the keys are releasable, the seller has received the funds, that's that chance that we give that key to that buyer and welcome them to their new home. I hope you found this information helpful. If you have any questions or comments that you'd like to leave here, please do so. And otherwise, thanks for watching.